Starting off again, my name is Niels Oosthuizen. I work for Jubali Bros in South Africa. We're holding a webinar today on the Huawei Commercial and Industrial Solutions. First of all, I'm just going to give you a brief background on Jubali Bros. So Jubali Bros was founded in 1977 in Lebanon. And then based on this timeline chart here below, you can follow and see how the company has expanded throughout the years. Most notable to mention is the UAE in 1992, Nigeria in 1996. Nigeria is one of our biggest branches when it comes to the generator side. Myself in South Africa, the division was established in 2016. And then in 2017, commencing our 30 years anniversary, a specific solar division was established as the company saw the need to expand or evolve together with the energy divisions. So a specific solar division was started in 2017. And then since 2017, we've opened up branches in Pakistan and Kenya. And then obviously we're looking at expansion opportunities going forward in 2022. On the next slide, you see a global map. This map is a representation of Jubali Bros. So wherever you see a flag, we have some sort of representation in that country, whether it be a sales office, a factory that might be up there, a building complete, the generator sets. But wherever you see a flag, we've got some sort of relationship in that country. So please feel free to look us up and make contact with us. At Jubali Bros, we've got 6 key pillars in supporting our customers. I'm just going to run through them briefly. The first one being product supply. It's as simple as the name implies. It's that you come to us with a request for certain products, be it on the generator or on the solar side, saying you request Huawei inverters. We will then sell you the inverter and then going forward support you in that. The next one would be training. The training section would be webinars like we're holding on a weekly basis. It's similar to this one, where we have certain topics that we're discussing. We're trying to have new topics each week. Some of the topics do repeat, and it's only for people that might have missed a previous one. But then we can also do training sessions on site for you, or we can hold one at the office, depending on the need and availability of personnel. The third one, engineering support. At Jubali Bros, we have dedicated engineering teams in various countries. So we're not just there to sell you a product or teach you how to use a product, but we can also go deeper into the engineering side of it, where we can assist you with designs, or we can optimize your designs for you if you're willing to share it with us. So it's an extra advantage that we offer free of charge. The fourth pillar would be leads. So Jubali Bros is not an EPC company. We are not in competition with our EPCs that's currently supporting us. We would like to see ourselves as an extra branch of your own company. So in some stages, big corporates would approach us with an opportunity, but we will then refer that opportunity to you as an EPC, where you can handle the project, and then Jubali will assist you on product supply, engineering, and training. The fifth one is referral to finance. So Jubali Bros, again, we're not a bank, so we do not do financing ourselves at this stage, but we do have partnerships with big corporates or big banks. So depending on the need or the project that you've got, we all know that solar projects has got a big capital investment up front. But depending on your needs, we can then refer you to the correct person or to the correct company that will best suit your needs. So if you need some financing options for your solar projects, again, please feel free to reach out to us. We will then make a connection between yourself and the relevant company to support you. The sixth pillar is after-sale support. Again, the after-sale support, it goes back to the first one, product supply. We're not just going to sell you a box and then be done with it to say that's your own problem. Our after-sale support is then even after we sell you the product, we can assist with commissioning, we can assist you with warranty support, or we can assist you in troubleshooting issues that you've got on site. So this is just some of the extra value add that Jubali is offering you. So again, we're not just here to sell you a product, but we would like to offer you a full solution and be with you every step of the way from the beginning to the end, and then obviously beyond. So Jubali has partnered specifically with Huawei on the solar inverters. We are a value-added partner and a certified service partner for the Huawei inverters. Why we have chosen Huawei inverters is it is deemed as safe and reliable inverters with up to 25 years reliability. The smart operation and maintenance lowers your operation expenses. and then the inverters has proven to give higher yields, which also gives you more energy. Again, more energy, lowering your operations expenses. So we're going to start now going through the slides. The first one is the Huawei introduction. So Huawei was founded, So over the years, you can see on this chart how Huawei has expanded. So they're constantly creating value for customers. They're number 44 on the Fortune Global 500. They've got 197,000 employees. And of that 197,000, more than 53.4% is in research and development. So it means that more than 100,000 employees is specifically dedicated to research and development. So they're continuously improving the products they give to their end consumers, whether it's on the telecommunication side or on the digital power side. The solar division or the inverters is falling under the digital power section of Huawei. So Huawei is, they've got sustained investment in research and development, as I've mentioned, more than 100,000 employees. And over the past years, they've spent more than 70 billion US dollars just dedicated into research and development. They ranked 5th in the 2018 EU Industrial Research and Development Investment Scoreboard. And by the end of 2019, a total of 80,000 plus patents applications have been granted. Above 90% were invention patents. So it's new technology that Huawei is embracing, or that Huawei is developing, and then they're registering the patents for it. On this next slide, you can just see how the Huawei string inverters has taken over the mainstream market. So this first table, you can see central inverters is the gray section, string inverters being the blue section. So you can see that since 2016, the string solution has been taking over more of the market share. And then again, Huawei does offer the string solution of the inverters. And after string section specifically, Huawei has got more than 50.6% market share. They've been the number one global inverter shipment since 2015, all the way up to 2019. There is actually an updated market now for where 2021 or 2020 and 2021 was also number one for Huawei. So moving over to the next slide. So Huawei offers you the complete solutions on the PV market. They've got everything from residential, commercial, industrial, as well as utility. Today we will be focusing on the commercial and industrial segment, but also do keep in mind that they do have a residential offering as well as utility offering. So if you've got any of those projects, again, please reach out to us so that we can assist you in the best possible way. So Fusion Solar for your sustainable business with Huawei Fusion Solar C&I. So we're starting now with the dedicated commercial and industrial solutions from Huawei. In this slide, you can see a C&l Line Diagram. So the items marked in red is items that's specifically available directly from Huawei. Items in gray would be then from third parties, but then also Jubaili Bros can assist you with those third-party devices that you require. So looking at that, so we can offer you the inverter and dongle from Huawei. So it's Huawei inverters, C&I range starting at 20 KTL, going all the way up to 100 KTL. Power meters, the power meters they've got available is for both residential and C&I. A note to remember is on the power sensors for C&I, it's only on the smaller scale commercial industrial. As soon as you go to more than 250 kilowatt on a commercial industrial, you would require a third-party power meter. But again, you can get that power meter from Jubaili Bros, so we will assist you on that one. Then the third one in this setup would be the smart logger, which is your communication device between your inverter, your power sensor, perhaps a weather station if you've got one. And that will then feed all the information to the cloud or the Fusion Solar Management System, where you can then access it remotely, either via internet, via your laptop or your cell phone. This communication to the internet can be via 2G, 3G, 4G, or it can be via a direct internet connection on Ethernet if it's available on your site. Moving on, the C&I inverters. As I've mentioned, we've got a large section of C&I inverters. The first setup would be the small C&I section, is from 12 KTL up to 20 kilowatt. This is the smaller range of inverters. It's got 2 inputs or 2 MPPTs with 2 inputs each, so you can have 4 strings connected to it. It's got built-in WLAN communication, can do smart dongle WLAN communication, 4G communication, and it can also communicate with a smart logger. It's got built-in AFCI as well as built-in PID recovery, and it's also got ripple control interface if it's a requirement from your utility. The maximum current per MPPT would be 22 amps. And then moving over to the next section is the mid-range of the C&I would be from the 29.9 or 30 kTL all the way to a 40 kTL. Main difference between this one and the smaller one is that it's got two more MPPTs with two inputs each, so you can now have a total of 8 strings connected to it. Maximum current per MPPT would be 26 amps, which means that this inverter is suitable with modern high-powered PV modules. Then if we go to the largest section of the C&I solutions that's available, the first inverter range on the largest section would be the 50 or the 60 kTL. It's still M0 meaning it's the first division or the first derivative of this specific inverter. Difference between this one and the previous one is it's got 6 MPPTs, meaning 12 strings can be connected to it. Local commissioning will be done via USB WLAN, and then the communication on this inverter is either through the smart logger or a smart dongle 4G. Maximum current per MPPT, 22 amps. Then the most popular inverter in this range is 100 kTL. Most of our EPCs in South Africa prefer the 100 kTL. It's got 10 MPPTs, which means you can have 20 strings to it. Local commissioning is via USB WLAN. Communication is the Smart Logger 3000A. The Smart Logger supports RS485 communication as well as AC Modbus. And then you can also attach a smart dongle, which gives you 4G communication. And then it says here the AFCI is an optional model. So in South Africa specifically, we bring in only the units or the Pro model, which has got AFCI built in. But there is also a version available without AFCI if it's not a requirement from your side. Maximum current per MPPT is 26 amps. Sorry, we're moving over to the next slide. So as part of the reliability, Huawei has identified certain parts of an inverter that's prone to failure. So to improve the reliability of the inverters, they've actually removed some of those components. The first of all is fuses. So the Huawei inverters make use of a fuseless design. It does not have an LCD screen. It's only got LED indicators, which would give you a status update on the AC side, DC side, communication, or if there's an error or a fault on it, you would also have your alarm indicator. It's also got no buttons, as people are prone to push buttons or even just to fiddle with it, to run through screens to see what they can see. So that's also why Huawei has removed the buttons. So the Huawei inverters is accessible on your cell phone or laptop. So it's an easy wireless communication. So all of the information that you require or that you would like to see would be visible on your cell phone. Then, as we all know, Huawei actually started as a telecommunications company, but what Huawei has done is they've incorporated the technology or experience they've got on telecommunication towers, and they've actually shared it with the digital power division, and that has then formed part of the Huawei inverter technology development. So it makes use of natural cooling that's verified by telecom and solar applications. And then it's TUV verified with an annual failure rate of less than 0.5%. Inverter availability is up to 99.996%. So this proves that the inverters are very reliable. So as I've mentioned before, with the current rating, so the 100 kTL has got a 26 amp maximum per MPPT, which means that it can take up to 600 watt power modules or more than 600 watts, which is the modern PV modules. Please do note that perhaps first generation inverters has only got a 22 amp current. So please make sure that when you're doing your designs, please specify the correct inverter, or please reach out to us at Jabali Bros, and then we can also assist you in making sure that your inverter is compatible with your design. So some of the active safety features that's built into the inverters is like excessive low PV string parallel resistance, excessive high PV string series resistance, abnormal curve near MPV in the PV string, slight current mismatch, missing configuration of the PV string open circuit correctly, current mismatch, abnormal PV current output, low PV short circuit current, excessive low irradiance, scanning data invalid, low PV string power, or no string connected. So all of these safety features are built into the inverter, and as part of the startup of the inverter, it will run a sequence of tests to make sure everything is 100% okay for the inverter to operate. If there is some sort of issue which prevents the inverter from operating, it would give you an error signal. If it's not a major issue and is not going to affect the inverter will still start up and perform, although it might not be performing to 100%, but it will give you an indication that there is an error on the system. So AFCI. So what is AFCI? So AFCI is arc fault circuit interruption, and Huawei has got AI powered, which means it's artificial intelligence. So electric arcing is threatening the safety of PV systems and underlying buildings. So electric arc can happen from a simple misconnection where MC4 connector is not 100% connected up. As we all know, DC power is more dangerous than AC with the high voltages. So it's very difficult to extinguish a DC arc than an AC arc. But then the Huawei has got artificial intelligence on its side. So it will learn from previous occurrences of AFCI. So if it picks up, it will then switch off. And then if it was a false trigger of the AFCI, it will then learn from that. And next time it would know that it was false. Excuse me. So safety hazards becomes primary challenge for PV and energy storage systems. Safety requirements shall become mandatory standards. So in this below one, you can just see some of the failures that has occurred. So in 2018, 7 Walmart PV rooftop plants caught fire due to terminal failures, causing stores shutdown for up to 8 days. So the AFCI is a very important feature as part of safety, not just for the system itself, but also for your building where the systems are being installed. So as I mentioned, it's got artificial intelligence powered AFCI. So it's got automatic shutdown in 2 seconds, meeting the USUL 1699B standard. It can accurately detect and confirm PV arcing with less false alarms, and it supports self-learning new types of arcing for future higher safety. In this next slide, we're just comparing how the Huawei AI AFCI solution is better than the standards. So according to the arcing standards, it should only be detected up to 80 meters, but with a Huawei solution, it can be detected up to 200 meters, which means it's more than 150% better than the standards. The current standards for arcing is also just detection up to 16 amps. The Huawei can do detection up to 26 amps. The next function that's built into the inverters is the anti-PID, which is anti-potential induced degradation. So PID can severely reduce PV system output by 30% or more. What is it? Potential induced degradation is a phenomenon that negatively affects power output of PV modules. What causes it? Due to potential difference, anode ions flows from the glass plate into the semiconductor material of the solar cell and affects the cell performance. It is caused by high humidity, high temperature, and contamination. So PID can reduce your output by more than 50%. Although most modern PV module manufacturers would state that their modules is already anti-PID, it is also a great function to have built into the inverter. So the inverter can also control what's happening on the string. So PID recovery is built in to secure better module performance. So when the inverters are off-grid at night, an offset DC voltage is applied between the inverter PV negative and ground. This effectively increases the voltage of the PV negative string with respect to the ground. So below is just a graph showing test that has been conducted. So without PID recovery, you can see that in the first month or the month of June 2017, there was 3,595 kilowatt hours produced, but with a PID active on the system, it was 3,600. So the difference in yield is 0.12%. But then on the system, as you see, as the time progressed, if we now go to 2017 November, 5 months later, there's already a 1.59% difference in performance between the two systems. So 1.59% in 5 months. If you look at a total lifespan of 20 years, it makes a big, significant difference in your LCOE. On this next slide, it's just a brief explanation of the 12 to 20 KTL M2 range. M2 meaning it's the second generation of the inverter, or the second time that the inverter has been redesigned or tweaked or improved. So the 12 to 20 KTL range has got a 98.65% efficiency, 22 amps per MPPT, 2 MPPTs. So we've got a compact design, it's 25 kg and lighter, so one person can handle it. And then the voltage range is between 160 and 950 volts on the MPPT. The next range of the inverters was the 30 to 40 KTL M3 range, which means it was the third time that this specific range was revised or improved. Efficiency 98.7, maximum current 26 amps. So this is then compatible with high-powered PV modules. 4 MPPTs, which means it can take 8 inputs or 8 strings. Voltage range from 200 to 1000 volts. Then on the next one is we've got the communication C&I smart dongle. So one smart dongle device can communicate with up to 10 devices. The WLAN dongle is compatible with the 40 KTL and below as a master inverter, and any inverter as a slave inverter. So as I've said, one dongle can support up to 10 inverters. Inverter commissioning can be synchronized via a single dongle, so you can only do setup or commissioning on the master inverter, and then it will relate all of that information to the rest of the slave inverters. Grid connected power control can be achieved through the WLAN FE or 4G dongles. Then the next range of C&I inverters is the 50 or 60 M0, so it's still the first generation of inverters of this size. 98.7% efficiency. Please note again, the maximum current is only 22 amps on this first generation inverters. This specific range of inverters has got 6 MPPTs, and then the voltage range for the MPPT is between 200 and 1000 volts. Then 100 KTL M1 AFCI. M1 is the first generation or first update to it. AFCI standing for it's got built-in AFCI. Efficiency 98.7, maximum current 26 amp, 10 MPPTs, which gives you a lot of flexibility on your designs. And then the MPPT voltage range is between 200 and 1000 volts. Next one is on the C&I Smart Logger 3008. So it's again on the communication side, but we're just upgrading a bit on communication. So the Smart Logger can support up to 80 devices. So it's got 3 inputs on each communication bus. Each communication bus can then take 30 inverters, so you can have 30 inverters on the first communication bus, 30 on the second one, but then on the third one you can only have 20. Or if you're adding additional devices like weather stations or power sensors, for each power sensor taking up a slot, you can reduce the inverter. So if you've got one power sensor and one weather station, it means you can only add 78 inverters. But I mean, if you're looking at 100 KTL times 78, it's quite a large system that you can install. So the Smart Logger 3000A has got multiple communication interfaces. It's got WLAN, LAN, RS485, 2G, 3G, 4G, and then it's also got digital and analog input and outputs, which you can then configure to whatever needs you've got on site. Then it also supports multiple communication protocol. It supports Modbus TCP as well as Modbus RTU. This next diagram is basically just showing you that on a Smart Logger 3000A, how you would be setting up the communication between the inverters. So the first green line would be a first string of inverters. As I've mentioned, up to a maximum of 30 can be daisy chained. And then second one is the yellow one, also again up to 30. Maximum distance between the logger and your last inverter. Your last inverter in the string is 1000 meters. Then if you do have a weather station, please make sure that it's the last one in the specific string. So don't connect it first in the string and then daisy chain the inverters to that one. It should be the last in your daisy chain. Again, we're just stating the facts again. So up to 80 devices can be connected to it. Communication is RS-485 or ACM bus. Communication to the cloud would be Ethernet or 4G. So if you've got a remote site, you can then install 4G communication, or if your site is close to an office or city or town, you have most probably have internet available already on site, and then you can just have a LAN cable or Ethernet connection. Then on the next slide is we're going to focus now on the fast and easy commissioning of Huawei inverters. So everything can be done on one app. Local commissioning is as easy as a 4-step process. You can then also have remote monitoring available on your phone. Fast and easy communication. The app is very user-friendly. It's simple and swift. It's a convenient and reliable system. So Huawei has got their own monitoring platform, the Fusion Solar. So it's not a third-party monitoring platform. And then you've got improved operation and maintenance experience with the control of everything in your own hand. So you can control a complete plant or different plants, all available on your cell phone. The next slide is just a simple indication of how the commissioning process would be. Starting off with local commissioning, you would then insert your basic information settings. Basic information would be your site location, your grid parameters, device detection. That's an automatic process. If all of the communication is right, all of the devices should pick up automatically. If there is perhaps a problem on one device where it's not picking up, you can always go and check your wiring to make sure your wiring is correct. Then connecting to the management system. Management system is your Fusion Solar site. So you would then insert your Wi-Fi parameters, or you would insert your IP address if you've got an Ethernet connection, or if you're using 4G, you can insert your 4G parameters there to give it access to the cloud. And then your local commissioning is then done, as easy as that. After your local commissioning, you can then add a new plant or add new devices. You can add everything from your cell phone, or if you prefer using a laptop, you can always just connect the laptop via USB cable to the inverter or to the master inverter, and then you can expand your system from there. Continuing with fast and easy commissioning. So auto detection of all system devices. All inverter connected devices can be automatically detected in the Fusion Solar app. So because of this automatic detection, the commissioning would be between 1.5 and 3 minutes, whereas in other solutions where the communication between devices is not automatic, you have to specify each one. It can take you between 15 to 20 minutes. This 1.5 to 3 minute setup time would be on a simple, almost want to say residential solution, where you've got inverter, optimizers, batteries, power sensors, and dongles. If it's a larger C&I solution, it might take a bit more than the 1.5 to 3 minutes, but I would not say more than 5 minutes on a larger system. Then for export limitation, power meters. So as I've mentioned, Huawei has got its own smart power sensors. It's very accurate with a measurement accuracy of class 1. Simple and easy. So it's a small volume LCD display, CT and RS-485 cables are included. And then the energy efficiency of these power sensors is less than 1 watt. Then, as I've mentioned before, these power sensors are only applicable to the smaller side of the C&I solutions. Total AC requirement is less than 170 kilowatt. Grid incoming cables should be smaller than 25 millimeters. Then if your systems are bigger than 170 kilowatt, we would advise the use of third-party power meters. In South Africa, the Unitsa range is very popular amongst the EPCs, but then there's also some other third-party power meters that's suitable or compatible with the Huawei inverters, like the Schneider range, the Acrol range, as well as the Algedo range. So depending on the size of your system, again, please reach out to us and we can assist you to specify the correct product. Now moving over to the next section of this presentation is the PV optimizers. So Huawei has got its own range of PV optimizers. In this specific example, it's shown a 450 watt peak. Huawei has, however, released a new 600 watt version that's available now to the market. It was released at Intersolar. So it's a one fits all solution. One optimizer fits almost all poly and mono PV modules in the market. Maximum power of this specific one is 450 or 80 volt DC. As I've mentioned, there is now a 600 watt solution available as well for the higher powered modules. It's got a maximum efficiency of 99.5%, and then it also supports rapid voltage shutdown, which gives you 0 volt voltage, quick voltage shutdown. Then these optimizers can be installed in either portrait installations or landscape, so it's flexible to your design. So why use optimizers? So optimizers can give you up to 50% more energy by optimizing each module performance. So typically in a C&I solution, you might have vents or air cons on top of a roof, or if you're doing a ground mount, there might be fencing, or if it's close to a cell phone tower or a base station. All of that can cause shading. Billboards is also a common problem in cities. So a billboard can cause quite significant shade on your array, which will then reduce your performance. So in this solution here, you can just see it might be an air con here. So air con is giving shade on one panel only and maybe a small section of the other panel. But because it's a string connected system, the shading of one panel influences the whole string will then perform at only 85%. But if there is optimizers in the string, all of the panels unaffected by the shade will perform at 100%, and only the panels affected by the shade will perform at a reduced rate. So this is a customer testimonial. With or without optimizer comparison, energy yields are increased by 6.3%. So 6.3%, again, looking at a total lifetime of the system of 20 years, 6.3% is massive increased yields, which then betters your LCOE. Again, we've got a comparison case. We've got a residential rooftop here. We've got different orientations. We've got a north, a south, a east, and a west. Non-optimizer solution. So if there's modules shaded, it will then influence the whole string. So if we look at it, the PV modules is a 2,205 watts. Optimizers, this first column is without optimizer, so it's not applicable. Inverter is a 2 KTL-L1. Then in the second one, full optimized, there's 9 optimizers, 450 watt connected to it. And then in this graph, you can see that the blue column is with optimizers and the red is without. And then the optimized solution is always performing better. In this next one, it's again, we're looking at PV optimizers, more modules with long and flexible string design. So typically, if you're looking at maximum DC power per string, if you just have an unoptimized solution, you can only go up to a maximum of 5 kilowatt. But if you're using the Huawei optimizers, you can go up to a 10 kilowatt design. So there's 2 to 6 KTL is a specific reference example to a residential single phase, and the 3 to 10 KTL M1 is the 3-phase residential range. Then the next solution, it's just comparison. So you see more complex roof systems here. You will have conventional PV rooftop layout or a rooftop layout with optimizers. So with the optimizers, you can use all of the roof space that's available. Unoptimized solution, you cannot put perhaps panels in this areas 1 and 2. Area number 1 shading would be specifically coming from this chimney, and then area number 2 is shading caused by the roof itself. So by using an optimized solution, you can install panels on your full system roof. Then if we look at the graphs here, you can see that a common module without optimizer, you can only do 13.7 kilowatt. But if you do a smart module with optimizers, you can do 24 kilowatt. That gives you 10.7 kilowatts more that you can add to the roof. So the PV optimizers is definitely recommended if you've got complex roof systems and you would like to use the majority of the roof space that's available. Then the PV optimizers ensures that you've got a safe house. Without optimizers, high DC voltage when the system shuts down, but with optimizers, each optimizer output is 0 when the system shuts down. Then PV optimized, we've got pinpoint accuracy. So if you install the optimized solution, you would have, if there's a fault on a module, it will specify the exact module that's at fault. It will give you to say that it's string number 5, module number 10. So it saves you 80% on-site troubleshooting time and cost of accurate arc fault positioning. Manual detection of DC arc fault in a 10 kilowatt residential system usually costs 5 hours. Pinpoint arc fault position report lead to resolve the problem within 30 minutes. Less power loss because of shorter system tripping. So this is just the advantages of using a fully optimized solution. Zero voltage module level voltage shutdown, touch safe. So you need a fully optimized system to have the 0 volt module level shutdown. On the Huawei system specifically, it's not necessary to optimize each panel if it's not a requirement, although the advantage of optimizing everything would be the 0 volt module level shutdown. So it provides the highest safety for installers, maintenance personnel, and firefighters. And the optimizers also meets the most advanced safety standards, NEC 2014 and 2017, and it's rapid shutdown compliant. Then this is just the evolution of the optimizer. So the first generation optimizers was a lot bigger. Second generation is 50% smaller. It fits in the palm of your hand. It's comfortable to hold, and it's got a compact design philosophy. Now we're reaching almost the end of this presentation. We're going to focus now on the Fusion Solar app or the commissioning. So as I've mentioned, remote monitoring and troubleshooting, that's all available via the Fusion Solar app. It's accessible via the phone or your web browser. It's very simple and swift to use. It's convenient and reliable, and you've got approved operation and maintenance experience. So on the remote monitoring and troubleshooting on plant management, you have a full visualization of the operation of the plants anytime, anywhere. This first screen grab would be what's available for you to view on your laptop. Then the second graph would be what's available to view on your mobile device. So this would be a single plant overview showing you the complete system. It shows you the flow of energy. It shows you the yield. This is an hourly yield, and this is a daily yield that you can then change per month or per year. And then this is just how the same view would look like on a cell phone or mobile device. This would be your real-time energy flow, and this would be your yield and social contribution, where you can see it either per day, month, or per year. Moving on to the next slide. Curve Diagnostics. So as part of the Huawei Fusion Solar site or Fusion Solar management system, expanded feature is the smart operation and maintenance is Curve Diagnostics. So it's an AI-powered feature. It's online smart Curve diagnosis. It's module touch-free. So if you make use of the online smart Curve diagnosis, the whole system can be diagnosed in 2 minutes, 100% string scanning, and you have an auto-diagnosis report generated in 10 minutes. So if you make use of a conventional testing method, where you have to send the engineer to site to do the testing, it can take you the complete day. Perhaps due to the size of the system, they're only doing certain strings or just sampling. And then also you need manual data analysis and report writing, which can take days or weeks depending on the engineer and availability of personnel. So smart Curve Diagnosis 4.0, it's online and full diagnosis and reduce your O&M cost. Recall ratio, consistency, accuracy of 95% or more. So in this first graph, you can just see the level of faults. So level L1, 2, 3, or 4. Recall rate is more than 75, more than 85, more than 90, more than 95%. So you've got 100% good result. Fault diagnosis, accuracy is more than 70% on a L1 level scanning. On an L4 level scanning, it's more than 90%. But if you look at the total result, it's 96.8%. Smart Curve Diagnosis is better adaptability. It's large-scale ground mount and mountain scenarios compatible with mainstream components such as half-clip life, 196, 182, and 210. You can also do loss assessment. You can do scheduled scanning for Smart Curve Diagnosis. It can be integrated by ISV. It's fine-grained data and higher availability. So this is just all of the nice advantages of making use of the smart IV curve diagnosis. Then continuing on the smart IV curve diagnosis, you can see on these graphs, a typical graph would be the yellow one, the blue one would be what's picked up on the IV curve. The artificial intelligence will compare these two graphs and then specify what's the possible problem on the system. So it supports plant level, array level, and inverter level analysis and diagnosis, and it automatically identifies different failure types and provide recovery suggestions. So there's up to 16 different faults that can be identified by making use of the smart IV curve diagnosis. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for taking the time to join this presentation. I know all of the information cannot always be immediately available, so please do reach out to us. We've added all of our information here, technicalsolar.uae specifically for technical inquiries or UAE inquiries, then also jbsolar.gulf, and then I've added my email as well onto this. So if you've got any information that you require from a South African perspective, please reach out to me. But you can also reach out to the other two email addresses if you need to get hold of us. We are now going to head over to the question and answer session to see what questions came up and what's the best way possible for us to answer it. Okay, first question. Please, can I have the full video after the class? Okay, as I've mentioned before, Jubaili Bros has got a specific YouTube channel, Jubaili Bros Solar. On there, all of the videos are uploaded, so you can see this video as well as previous videos that might be of interest to you. Okay, next one. Sorry, okay, that's not a question specifically for us, so we're going to go on to the next one. So I just want to reduce it a bit on my side. Next one, the 20-year life. Are there any guarantees with the product for the entire life? Okay, so Huawei inverters typically comes out with a 5-year warranty. This 5-year warranty is then extendable to a 10-year, a 15, a 20, or even a 25 years warranty. So if there's a problem with the device in any time in the warranty period, the device will then be monitored or checked by Jubaili Bros or Huawei to see what the problem is. If the warranty is approved, the whole device gets replaced. So Huawei does not believe in fixing or taking a copy and paste solution to fix inverters. If there's a fault on the inverter, the whole inverter is replaced. Something also worthwhile to mention on this is that Huawei inverters, you don't specifically need to buy the extended warranty on your initial purchase. You can even buy the warranty or the extended warranty during any time of the initial warranty. So if you are on year 4, day number 362, you can then extend the warranty with an additional 5 years. Or if you're on an additional 5 years, you can extend the warranty in year number 9. So it's not something you have to pay up front. You can extend the warranty as the process evolves. But then the pricing on the warranty extension would be available from Jubaili Bros Solar. So please reach out to us and then we can always assist you with that. How can I have the Huawei Solar product price list? So depending on your region, please reach out to us on any of the email addresses provided. A sales representative will then be in contact with you and he will share a Huawei price list or product availability with you. It is worth it to mention that not all Huawei solutions are available in all the regions. People like to go onto a Huawei website, see something that's applicable to the European or Chinese market, and then they would like that unit. But please, not everything is available in all regions due to different environmental conditions or climates. So please reach out to your local representative or send me an email and I will put you into contact with the correct person to assist you. So please send us the email and we will assist you as best we can. Is it possible to have the Huawei sizing software? So Huawei has got an online design portal. It's a smart design system. It's available on the internet. And then us as Jabali Bros, we also have an offline Excel sheet that you can use for simple designs, where you can just specify your module parameters, the open circuit voltages, etc., and then your system sizing, and then that Excel spreadsheet would recommend using a 50 kTL or 100 kTL, or whichever inverter is most applicable to what you require. So yes, we've got both online available as well as offline available. The online one, it is called the Huawei Smart Design. So Huawei has actually recently revised its online design software. It's now Huawei Smart Design 2.0. And then Huawei has also recently made some changes to the Fusion Solar app, also to improve efficiency and improve the product. So yes, there's online and offline solutions available.